Good afternoon, men. I am Specialist Flint. I will be giving a class on intersection, finding an unknown point on the ground in accordance with SM SC 21-1. I will be giving the things you will need for this is a map, 1 to 50 thousandths, a protractor, pen and paper, and a compass. Alright, it's hot out here. Be sure you're drinking water during this class. We're going to be laying on the ground, so if you get bit by a bug, because there's bugs crawling around, let me know. If you get stung by something and need to see a medic, we can facilitate that. So the reason this is important to know is that if, say you're out on deployment and you're, say, LPOP or just on patrol, and you observe someone a couple K away doing something, like in Afghanistan, you can see pretty far, or even in the deserts of Iraq or Syria. If you observe them, you can call for fire on them without, if you need to, like if you observe enemies doing something on a nearby hill, and you don't have to get into a firefight. So there's two ways of doing it. One is having an adjacent unit help you ID them by ID their location by shooting a azimuth from your location and from their location and seeing where the points intersect on the map. The other way is if you have some other things with you, say if there's no adjoining units but you have a laser rangefinder, you can shoot an azimuth, know the distance, and go down that azimuth and get your grid that way. I will be showing you both of them. So, since we're out, we're going to do this as if we were in the field. You don't have a table, so we're going to get on the ground. Take your map. This is a map of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. The GM angle is 9, so you need to know that whenever you do this. You're going to have your location, which is, for this exercise, will be Hotel Zulu 7536 8121, and you're going to plot that on the map. Then you will have already shot your azimuth, and you will convert it from magnetic to grid. So for this one, you would -9, and then you would mark. There's different ways of doing it. Some people like to take index cards and slide it out and use that to mark it. What I like to do is put a little dot next to the angle or the degree out here, and then take my protractor, turn to where I use the side of my protractor as a straight edge and draw my line. Next, I would radio, which in this case was 40 degrees. I would ensure that while I am plotting my grid that my protractor is straight north and south, and that all the lines are parallel to your map. I would have also made sure that, like I did when I naturally got out here, that I orientate myself and my map to where my map's facing north and I'm facing north, to where I don't confuse myself. I would then radio an adjacent unit and get them to shoot a grid, or shoot an azimuth using a compass to their location, to the location which I'm trying to find. I would have to know their grid location, so I would mark down their grid. So in this case, it'd be Hotel Zulu 7720 8130, and I'd plot it, and then they would give me if they gave me a magnetic grid, then I would have, or a magnetic azimuth, I would have to correct it into a grid azimuth. Once I did that, I would draw the line from their location on that azimuth, and then I would have the intersecting point. Where the points intersect would be 7680 8 195, and I could use that to call for fire. The other way that you could do this is you take out a piece of paper. If you shoot, say if you have a laser rangefinder and you would shoot a grid, or you would shoot an azimuth to what they were at, you could then mark down your azimuth. Take your laser rangefinder and get the distance. Go down to your map legend. Measure out exactly what the distance would be using the scale. Take it, put the hash marks on your piece of paper to show the distance. Come back up here on your azimuth, mark down from the line, your location to how far away it is from the distance you got from your laser rangefinder, and then mark that dot on your azimuth and have it to where you are able to get your grid that way. Alright, are there any questions? At this point, I would get all the soldiers a grid, a azimuth, and then I would give them an adjoining unit's grid and azimuth and have them find an unknown point. If they did not get the right point, I would retrain them immediately and have another soldier that will partner up with them that understood the training. I would have to do this both for the intersection method and using the straight line method. I would ensure that all the soldiers have all their equipment and have police call the area to make sure there's nothing left. And then I would do an AAR. So, our soldiers were supposed to do map intersection in accordance with SMCT 21-1, and that's what they did. I would ask for sustains and improve. Improve for myself would be to actually have people to train, because I'm out here by myself. If any of my soldiers did not understand the training, I would then just stay afterwards and continue to train them. Then I would have them police call the area, make sure none of the things that they were using for the training, like maps or protractors, were left, because it's easy to lose protractors. They're clear. And then we would go back and see what other training they wanted.